Welcome back to the Breaker Bros, and today we're going to have predictions for this week's game, the Vikings at Bengals. Leading into the game, it looks like the Vikings are currently a 3.5 point favorite over the Bengals. So how do you feel like this game's going to go, Eric?
I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. I hope it's a shootout because I feel pretty confident that the Vikings are going to be able to move the ball. I have not seen a Bengals defense shut down a receiving running back or an elite tight end, and the Vikings have an elite receiving running back. So if Dalvin Cook plays, I feel like the Vikings offense is going to be putting up big points. I can see why people would pick the Vikings as a favorite, but I like the Bengals' chances. I feel like they'll be able to keep up with them. I feel like they'll be able to move the ball, and I like Joe Burrow to come in and lead the team to a victory over the Vikings, basically by outscoring them.
I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be the first game of the year, obviously. Based off of what I've seen in the preseason, I think it's going to be a bit of a slow start for the Bengals in terms of the first couple of weeks. However, I still think we're good enough to beat the Vikings, but I don't really see it being like a really big shootout. I mean, I think both teams are going to score a pretty good amount of points, but I don't think it's going to be like a shootout per se. I think the both sides, it's going to come down to the line of scrimmage, because I think the Vikings defense was kind of lacking last year, and it seems like their offense might be very similar to our offense in terms of firepower. So I think both sides are really going to try to keep the other team off the field, essentially. So I think the running game is going to be very important on both sides. So I think really the line of scrimmage is going to be very important throughout the game.
Yeah. So what scares you about the Vikings?
I would say the biggest thing for me, obviously, would be the protection would be the easiest thing. But on top of that, it would be essentially Zimmer. I know we have a lot of experience with him, with him being our former defensive coordinator, and we know how good he is at picking defensive plays. So just the fact that he's a defensive minded coach, and we know he's good, and it's going to be really the first real big test for our offensive line. So that would be my biggest concern. What about you?
Okay. I already said it. Dalvin Cook. I think the Bengals defense are going to have their hands full with Dalvin Cook. Not that the Vikings are only Dalvin Cook. I mean, they have two good receivers. They have one of the Jeffersons, and then they have Adam Thielen. So they have threats on the outside, but the Bengals seem to be pretty good at holding their own against receiving threats. It's those, we finally get into a 3rd and long, and then they dump it off to the check down back, and he makes the first down. And I feel like those sorts of things will give us fits for the game. So that's my biggest concern. All right. So what's your prediction for the final score?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it is going to be within maybe 3 to 5 points. But I see it as a Bengals victory. We're going to have a slight edge at being at home. I think both teams are very similar in terms of talent-wise, so it's just going to be a matter of who's got the ball last essentially. But I think it's going to be 24-20 Bengals on that spectrum. What about you?
All right. I don't see it quite like you. I don't think the Bengals and Vikings are equally talented. I think the Bengals are way more talented. They're younger, but I think the Bengals are more talented. It's a quarterback league. We have the better quarterback. Bengals will win 34-31. I think when we did our preseason prediction of the Bengals record, we also had this as a victory. So if you want, you can check that out. I think we'll put a link to that at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think's going to happen. Is this a good bet? I mean, we both picked the Bengals to win. 3.5 point favorite for the Vikings. I don't know. Let us know what your final scores are in the comments. Please subscribe. Please keep watching. Maybe throw us a little like. We're trying to get our subscribers up. Josh has his eye on some pretty nice hot tubs, so We got to keep that going. Got to get up to 1,000 so we can get some monies. Um, other than that, thanks for watching. And until next time, hope you catch us later.